Oh, it changed my... Hey, TikTok. Whoops. Hold on, let me get this. Sorry. Okay. It says the moon through my telescope. The moon is a light, not a rock. Change my mind. Sorry, I'm just messing with this a little bit. Try to get a... Keep going too dark. I love the moon in the day when there's daytime. Daylight. Let's zoom in, see what's up. What are we looking at? Kind of like seeing the whole thing. Mess with the focus a little bit. What's up, guys? Welcome, welcome. The moon is a light, not a rock. If it was a rock, it would fall. It's a heavenly light. I'm messing with the, there we go. I was trying to get it focused. Thank you for joining. Changed my mind, guys. Bible says that God made two great lights. One to rule the day, one to rule the night. And the lesser rules the night. But it says it's a light. I believe it. Might look like a rock. I mean, it does. It looks like there could be, like, you know, mountains or something there. But I don't think that's the truth. I think that's just what men make up. Let me get this a little brighter. There, how's that? See, the reason why I think it's a light is because of this. People say, oh, but it's got shadows of the craters. Well, yeah, but what color are they? When was the last time you seen a blue shadow? Let me just zoom in on these. They're not black. They're not dark. Oops. Uh-oh. I'm hitting the wrong button. Sorry, guys. Sorry it's so shaky. Yeah, make sure you follow. Thank you, Linda, for following. See the shadows or whatever? It's just the same color as the sky, right? Wouldn't it be like dark if it was a shadow? I mean, I know it's darker, but let me mess with the focus a little. It's not a very good image right now. Plus, I'm zoomed all the way in on TikTok, so we'll zoom back out a little bit. But did you get the point I'm making? See the edge there where all the shadows are blue? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced it's a rock. I'm not convinced they walked on it. I think they walked on it, but I think they're crazy. Oh, we got some UFOs on the moon. Just kidding. All right, I'm grabbing the remote. I keep trying to move it manually, and that's just dumb. Sorry, guys. Okay, let me slow this down. See those two things on the edge there? Let's look at those. Just for fun. Yeah. Hey, thanks for the likes, guys. That's awesome. Awesome. Yeah, make sure to follow, too. I'm just going to leave this going for a while. Because there isn't a cloud in the sky. Not one. Anywhere. So, running on battery. And I'm just going to track the moon for a while. And I'm just going to wait for someone to come in and prove to me that it's a rock. I got some junk on my screen you can see there. Sorry about that. It's not the cleanest. And it is really windy here, so... or not really windy, but sort of windy. I don't know how good it's tracking, but looks like it's pretty good. So what do you guys think? Is it a light, like the Bible says? Or is it a rock, like a bunch of astronauts said? So it's interesting, too, because, you know, Jesus ascended into the sky, and people saw him do that. And he, haven't seen you live forever. Yes, it's a light. Bible's correct. Thank you, Darcy. May I agree? Yeah, I haven't gone live for a while. I've been real busy. Busy with what we call life. All right, Linda, light. And here's what I don't think we have to understand everything about the moon to know it's a light. I mean, if you look at the moon at nighttime, it's definitely a light. It's really bright. Ronnie says, I think it's awesome. Yeah, I do too. It's like a mystery, like a, yeah, it's like a mystery. One of the most mysterious things ever. But yeah, it says, on the fourth day of creation, I think it says, and God created he made two great lights, one to rule the day, or the greater to rule the day and the lesser to rule the night. And he made the stars also, and God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. That's exactly what the sun and moon do. Like, that's still hasn't changed. It's still the same. Since the day of creation, we still get light from the sun and moon and stars. Otherwise, the sky would be all black and everything would be all dark, I suppose. But he made light. Probably so you could see all the things that he made. I think it's more of a popular belief lately. Because I think there's a lot of people... Whoops, too dark. I think there's a lot of people realizing that that's important to understand. That we were created. If you really believe that you were created by, you know, this creator, it makes you live every day differently in your life. And also, I know from my experience that if you seek to know him, he will how do I even say it? If you seek after him to know him, there's many ways to do that. He will manifest himself to you. Like, he'll become real to you because you believe in him. Which that is, there's a friend of mine from YouTube and wherever, and I've met him in person. His name is David Reif. He said that in a testimony that he gave, that he was in prison, and like he was like, yeah, this ain't, he said to God, he hadn't really prayed to God before, or not this way, but he said to God, he said, okay, well, here we are. My way's not working. So if you're real, I want to do it your way. And he has a powerful testimony. And life changed for him after that. Stuff like that. But it's real. And it even says that in the Bible somewhere, I don't know where. It says that they will manifest, that God will manifest himself to you. And he will send the Spirit of truth, or the Holy Spirit. It's local. I agree. It's not very far away. It's right up there. You know, I don't even know. I don't even know if it's like in a place. I mean, the sky could be a TV screen for all we know. I mean, pretty cool one, but it looks like it's tracking pretty good, doesn't it? But yeah, someone... is the moon... Oh, I missed some comments. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Let me go back. Is the moon inside or outside the firmament? Well, in Genesis it said, and God set them in the firmament of the heaven. So it's in the firmament, whatever that means. I think the firmament is basically a dark place that God put the lights into. And people would be like, oh, then gravity, what causes the orbit and all that... We can pretend we know that. We can pretend we understand it. But I'll tell you what, I'll call anybody out. Then ask you what the moon is. And guys like, Neil deGrasse Tyson or something, he'll tell you as a fact what it is. It's made of this rock and this rock, and here's where it came from. You know what? You're just a liar, Neil. You're lying to yourself. You don't know these things. Why would you pretend? Why would you say you do? Why would you say you know something that you don't actually know? Okay, there's some more comments. Sorry. Sorry for the shakiness. I have to touch my phone. God help you. Pablo. Thank you. I think. Universe is amazing. It is. Plasma. It's a light. That sounds about right, Mama Bear. Hot Mess Mama Bear. S is gravity. I don't really know what that means. God's creations are amazing. Yeah, they are. Oop, how do I get the... Oh, there we go. Where the buggy? Yeah, we're the buggy. We're the flag. I don't see no flag up here. Mass is gravity. Yeah, whatever. You can think that. I think God just made Earth for us to live on. He made it with an up and down. So that's the nature of reality, is that there's an up and a down. And I think we all understand it kind of decent. Where's Phoenix, Arizona? It's in Arizona. Not sure what you mean. Thanks for following, Henrik777. Gravity is ignorance. In a way, I would say it's even worse than that. It's like willful ignorance. It's like people want to believe in it, but there's no. I mean, you ask like I just said, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Ask him. He's like, we don't know what it is. Is the moon flat? That's an interesting question, actually. Cortex core. Thank you for that question. Because, let me just give some we are slowly drifting to the right, which is actually the left, because this is actually mirrored. So, but that's a good question, because the Book of Enoch says that the sun and the moon are both disks, and that they're both the same size. So just keeping that in mind, it looks spherical to me. Like, it looks like a sphere, but I don't think that it actually is. I really do think that it's actually a flat disk. And actually, when it rises in the east, and as it goes over you, and goes to set, if you pay attention to what you're seeing, the orientation of it, it appears to be a flat disk as it goes over. That's what a flat disk would do going over. How is it flat? I don't know. We've only seen one side of it. Okay, hold on. I missed some comments. Sorry, guys. Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. Is that a nice phone, Brian Silva? It sounds like a really nice phone. Right now we're looking. I have an iPhone 13 that we're looking through right now. The sun has a lot of gravity. I don't know, man. I mean, that's what they say, but I think the sun's more just like a light, and it creates heat. How is it flat? It can't set. No, it does set. I mean, it goes beyond our vision, whether it goes over the horizon into the vanishing point, whatever. It goes too far so we can see. I think you're right. Yes, only one side. I got a good scope. Have not seen anything in 10 years on the moon. Me too. I've been looking for at least 10 years at the moon with several different telescopes. I have a few nice telescopes. Right now we're just looking through a teeny little telescope. It's I gotta look at it to remember. It's a Meade ETX125. I got it for like $600, but it's a nice little portable unit. Like, you can easily throw it in your car and take it out to wherever. It doesn't weigh very much, and it runs on batteries. And right now I have it. We're using like an equatorial setup. So right now we're only turning I have the base of my scope pointed to Polaris, or pointed to the right by Polaris, to the celestial axis of rotation of the sky. And then I'm only using the one motor to turn that base, and that's all we're doing. So it's just one motor, And look how good it tracks. Okay, let me go back to some comments I missed. Oh, the moon don't set. Okay, I guess I don't really know what you're trying to say. I think you're right. Yes, only one side. Thanks for following EJ82024. Moves away. Good. Okay, I get you. I agree with that. I agree with that. But I think we call that setting. So CD nuts, I agree 100%. It moves away, or it travels away from you and appears to set. How's that? All right, Brian Gilliam followed the live creator. If what you think is true, that we are no more than a computer image flat screen. Hey, maybe, I don't know. No, I don't think we are like a computer. I think it's just like, it's definitely real. If you cut yourself, you'll bleed. If you trip and fall, you break your leg, it's going to hurt. Everything's real. Very real. But as far as up in the sky, I don't know. How far is the physical reality, like our flesh and blood, how far does that go if you're going up? Think about Jesus. He went up, and the clouds received him out of their sight. And they're like, whoa. And so now we have rockets that go, what are they stopping by Jesus' house for a beer after work or what? Come on. That ain't right. Let's see. Everything you can see is just light. I think you're right. Oh, I missed a couple. Sorry, guys. Yeah, make sure to follow follow the live. Jaeger Schnitzel. I like that name. That's great. I agree, but I just want to know how it works, how it produces light. Wouldn't that be nice to know? I mean, I could see people having an argument that the sun lights up the moon. The only problem with that is that that's not what the Bible says. The moon has its own light. Like, the sun isn't shining on the moon. The sun is shining on the earth. So it's like when we have that eclipse, I think it's the moon, and I think it goes right in front of the sun, and then all of a sudden there's a spot on the earth that's not lit. To me, I don't know. I think they're each lights. I'm not saying I understand it, though. Thanks for following, guys. And sharing, too. Thank you. And what it's made of. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Well, it's made of light, right? I see Anthony Edwards on the moon. I'm tripping. I think you might be tripping. I see pictures of Buzz Aldrin's family, or whoever's family. Lock squads. It doesn't produce light. Oh, what do you mean? Have you ever looked at it at night? It's super bright, man. Super bright. You can read under the moonlight, dude. It does produce light. Now, if you think it's the sun bouncing off of it, that's still producing light. The moon itself. But I don't think it's that way. I think it's its own light. Like, I think some of the blue craters right now kind of give me the idea that it's not a rock. SpaceX hitting the dome. AJ says beautiful. Michaela, thanks for following. Where are you guys all from? I'm in Minnesota right now. We're watching from Minnesota. And we're watching, it is actually, let me do the exposure. That's like how bright the sky is. It's actually even a little bit lighter blue than that in real life. So the sun is probably almost just starting to set. All right, Switzerland. Oh man, I missed a bunch already. You guys are quick. All right, Gregor Starr's from Texas. AJ's from Tennessee. Jim McArdle's from West Virginia. Michaela is from Michigan. Top tier anime is from Switzerland. Darcy May, South Dakota. Cool. I drove through there not long ago. David's from North Carolina. Meg 89's from Georgia. Z joined. Oh, no way, Jimmy Laser. You're from Belle Plaine, Minnesota. You know what? I've worked in Belle Plaine, Minnesota a lot. I worked on some houses there. I can't remember the road. I remember there's this big yellow building, and it was like a tourist thing or something on a highway, and it was right off that highway. I can't remember what the place was called, though. Maybe it was like, I can't remember what it was. It was like special food or something, like some big yellow building. All right, hold on, wait. I got to go back. I missed some. Jimmy Laser 444. That's awesome. Top tier animated, but the moon doesn't produce light. Well, I guess we're looking at it right now, kind of producing some light. So, you know, however you look at it. Jojo is from Rhode Island. Young Rod for One Life, Two Live, Baltimore. Nice. T. Hamilton 75, Kansas City. World's largest candy store. Is that where you? Is that what that is? And I never stopped. What's that road there? Is that road goes from like there's like Jordan is like I go through Jordan I think, and then I can't really, those roads kind of changed a little bit down there too not too recently, but yeah, there were some neighborhoods with some new houses that we worked in back there. That's cool. I'm gonna stop there next time. It reflects light from the sun. Okay, I can't say it doesn't. I mean, it kind of looks a little like it does, so I can't say it doesn't. Oh, that's in Jordan. Okay, cool. 169. I should have known that. Let's see. Yeah, Minnesota it's like, I don't know. I like living here, but I wouldn't mind living in other places too. Why did it just instantly get... Oh, I changed the exposure. I'm sorry, I should have said something. There, what I did was that's like the natural, where the phone or where the app automatically puts it. But I like to go a little down because it's like a little too bright. It seems like the way they have it. I don't know. To see the details. Whoops, I went too far. I think. Yeah, I did. The exposure on TikTok's really touchy. There, I'll leave. Like, that's pretty close, I guess. Minnesota rules. Stanzy Wolf, Tiffany Wilson. Why is it? Sorry about that. Cortex Core. Can you see the northern star? Yes. Well, I can't right now because it's still blue sky. It'll probably be within like, I don't know. I'm gonna look. Probably be like within a half hour. I'll be able to see it. Yep. Nuke it. Marco says nuke it. Who's with Marco? What are the dark spots on the moon? Good question. Actually, you just answered it. They're the dark spots on the moon. Sorry. Had to. Life's Firmament joined. I like that name. Yes, nuke. Marco and top tier anime say yes, nuke it. I saw a video the other of Star Through Moon. I've never seen it. And like someone else was in the chat here that said they've been looking through telescopes for 10 years and they've never seen anything. Now, there's people that I can't say. I don't think that you can see anything through the moon. That's what I think. That's my opinion. But Love You Forever is laughy. RJ Exterior or RJF Exteriors LLC. Nice. You do siding or what? I build a lot of porch columns and put them in. Our reflection is what RJF says. Love You Forever says, are you an astronomer? Well, aren't we all right now, kind of? What does an astronomer do? Looks at the sky, right? What does an astronomer do? Now, I would say that I'm an amateur astronomer. I just do it for fun. And I don't claim to know things that we can't know. Hey, you guys want to know something? Okay. I was mowing my dad's lawn today. Oh, yes, and roofing, too. Roofing, that's hard work, man. Roofing is probably one of the hardest jobs to do, especially in the summer and in the winter. It's one of the hardest jobs to do, I think. Okay, so you guys have heard of parallax, right? So they say that the star, like and I don't know the numbers, but they're ridiculous. But how far away the stars are, right? Like I can't remember. Someone in the chat probably knows how many light years away is Polaris. It's like 40 or 400, or I have no idea what the number is, but it's a light year itself is ridiculous. But, oh, zoom in on it a little. All right, I will, Eric Orsado. Thank you. And then I'm going to brighten it up, too, so... There, that's just like the natural... Oh, is it out of focus a little? Let me mess with the focus. Okay, so I'm going to debunk... Okay, how they taught us, they know the distance to all these stars. I'll debunk it in 2 minutes. Okay, they measure parallax, and what that is, let's say today, we would go to an observatory, we'd park our car, we'd go in, and we'd make an observation today. And we'd write down the measurements of certain things. And then we would wait 6 months. And we'd go back to the same observatory, probably park in the same spot in the parking lot, go in, do the same thing we did 6 months earlier, right? Make the measurements. Okay, and then we can calculate using those numbers. We can thank you, Jimmy Laser, 323 light years. So that distance is, the reason why they can say that is because they've taken these two measurements 6 months apart. And what they're inferring and assuming, which is not at all observed or anything, what they're inferring is that, let's just say today, what's the date today? Is it the, man, I'm way behind today. Let's say it's, what is it, May 20th? I have no idea. Anyway, let's just say on May 20th, we went and made an observation. So then May, June, July, August, September, October, November, or whatever, we go back and we do it again. And what we've accomplished by doing that is we've measured from one side of the, like the sun is 93 million miles away, they say. So we were on one side of the sun, and it was 93 million miles to the sun. And we waited 6 months till we were on the other side of the sun, which is another 93 million miles. So basically our observations that we made were made from 186 million miles apart. So that distance apart is enough to triangulate out using parallax to get that angle, to get the distance. But the problem is, we parked in the same parking lot, guys. We weren't 186 million miles away. That's all imaginary. We were in the same parking lot, same observatory, same telescope, the radio telescope, whatever they're using. Get what I'm saying? We don't know the distance to stars. That's a joke. It's a joke. If you're going to use, like, stellar parallax, I think that's what they call that, maybe. Yeah, Jimmy Laser says 1 light year is, oh boy, I don't even know how to say that. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I don't even know how to say that. 5879 with like 10 zeros behind it, miles. The moon is round, but only gives off its light from one side, which is how we get the moon cycles. Oh, really? Interesting. 5 trillion. Thank you. 5 bazillion. That's a long-ass way. Jack motherfucking House says, yeah, we've actually, like, sometimes we've had a lot of mosquitoes, right? So far this year. Oh, look at the bottom. It's not focused. We got to work on that. The mosquitoes haven't been bad this year, really, yet. Thanks for all the likes. The moon is a circle, not a ball. Yeah, it's a disc or a circle. We know it's a circle. We know that. I think everyone will agree on that. It's circular. All right, Kathy, follow the live creator. Blue gas can. Yes. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't see your name there. Okay, I'm going to zoom all the way in TikTok style. There, that's the grainy all the way zoomed in. I wish I could have TikTok show my other lens on my iPhone, the 3-time camera, so you can get a lot crisper. RJF Exteriors says It's a map of our world. I've heard that. I haven't seen it quite. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. It could be. Who knows? The nearest star is allegedly 685 quadrillion miles. Isn't that awesome? Like we can know. See, that's one thing that, if you're going to be honest with yourself, do we know much of anything? We know a lot of things. I mean, we know how to track the moon, right? We're doing it right now. We know how to build iPhones and make cameras and film stuff. We know how to do a lot. But that's on our level. Jack, I like your comments, man. Let's see here. I got to touch the screen, sorry. AI is amazing. AI is crazy, isn't it? Is there a schedule on when the ISS passes over the moon? There's actually, because if you think about it, wherever you are, if the ISS is going to transit the moon, it's going to be very specific to the location that you are. So they actually have a website. They have more than one that you can go to. I've been on them myself. And you can put in or it'll actually just if you allow access to your GPS or whatever, it'll just tell you what the next time that there's a transit in that area within a certain amount of miles or whatever. I've never filmed it, but I think it'd be pretty cool to do it. I filmed the ISS a bunch with my P1000, but let's see here. Blue Cast Can says, Tucker Johnson, rotate, yes, revolve, no. NASA is full of chit and money. 80 mil a day. That's awesome, amazing. Thank you, Kathy. Andrew Brandt, can you see the landing site? Yeah. Yeah, I seen it on TV. Jack says, is this your telescope? Yes, it is. The moon wave is coming on the summer solstice. Ooh, I can't wait. Like a lunar wave. I've seen that on Crow Tipple 7's video. That's crazy. I really wonder what's going on there. Let's see. Is this your telescope? Yes, it's a Meade ETX 125. It was pretty cheap. It was like $600. It's not bad. And it tracks. I got it set up pretty nice. You know what I can tell you right now, Jack? Because I'm not good at getting on and doing messages and all that. Like, I'm horrible at it. I'm just telling you. It's a Meade, like MEADE, ETX 125. You can get them used. Like, if you're going to buy a telescope, I recommend buying a used telescope. Because you're going to pay half the price. And whoever paid that big price, they took care of it. Do you know what I mean? Nobody trashes their telescope. They kind of just do their thing. You don't really have to take care of them or do anything to them. It is awesome, isn't it? And it's tiny, man. It's tiny. It's like, okay, it's there right now. I have my iPhone hanging off the bottom of it, and it's not even twice as tall as my iPhone 13, like the actual tube of the telescope. And it's a 6-inch? Let me look and see if it says. Oh, I'll read you what it says here. It says, it's a Maksutov Cassegrain telescope, and it is a D equals 127 millimeter, F is 1900 millimeter, F15. That's all it says on it. Meade sorry, let me say that again. E as in Edward, T as in Tom, X as in SpaceX. So it's ETX 125. Edward. Yeah. Oh, let's see. This is awesome. This looks fake. Don't see any movement. Even if it's tracked, it will have some blue. Sky is blue. Sky is blue. Let me show you something. Let me just show you. Hold on. Hold on. It might look fake, but let me just show you. Okay. Pulling it off. All right. There's the telescope. Let me unplug my battery. I'll show you guys the telescope. Look how dusty it is, too. I've been keeping it in my garage. So I got a battery thing running to charge my phone. And there's a couple different eyepieces, but this is what it is right here. Really small. Here's my hand. It's very small, like very small. And on the top, I have this big clunky, let me show you. See, like when I turn this, whoops, it's not able to focus, but that's a little spotting thing I have. It's not even right now, but I should turn that off. That runs on batteries too. And that's a telescope. Oh yeah, the moon, right up there. So there's the proof, and here's me. I'm real. All right, here we go. Now this is the part where I kind of have to jostle it around a little. I got it all rigged, you know. It ain't perfect. It is what it is. Not bad, huh? Not too shabby. And then, of course, I might have to focus it now. Maybe not. Oh, let's see here. I missed some of the comments, so sorry for the shaking. The moon wave, whoops. Oh man, I keep hitting all these buttons. The moon wave happens twice a year. We truly know nothing, but everyone will act like they do. That's right. Miro, FRM, Dirac, totally. And everyone's name, I just totally butcher it. I'm just like reading letter by letter in the names. You know what? I think the truth comes from above, and if we believe what he says, then we'll know the truth, and it will be made known to us. Okay, my hunting spotting scope and iPhone zoomed in looks just like this. Not downplaying your equipment. No, I'm not saying this is really nice equipment or something. This is just like, I mean, this telescope's probably like, I've had it at least 6 years, at least. So it's probably 10 years old or something, because I bought this one used. And of course, when I bought it used, they're so cheap these days, like how they're made. It's all plastic, and I had to take it apart and like reinforce everything inside. It's all kind of like just glued in there. It's like pretty crappy. So I took it apart and beefed it up, added some hot glue here and there and a little grease, and got it tuned up. Jack says, thank you guys. Just meaning it can't be 289,000 miles away and be that clear. Oh yeah, if it was 238,000 miles away, that's just a ridiculous number, you guys. Have you guys ever driven across the United States? That's like what, 2,000 miles? Think how long that drive takes. Just saying. And I'm way behind on the messages, but I just got to read them because I think it's fun. Oops, I think I got to the comments. I might have missed a bunch. Thanks for sharing our local luminary. Jack, you rock, man. Glad you came. And Jessica says that she's looking at right now. That's what it looks like. And praise the Lord. Agreed, AJ says. When I use my... Okay. Let's see. The Lord made the moon and sun. Amen. Yes. And that's like the most easy thing to believe. That's the least crazy thing to believe. To believe that like evolution and some Big Bang and all this other garbage. No. It's clear that we were created and designed. And look at the body you live in. It's like the most complex machine. It heals itself. It takes food and turns it into work. It's amazing. Go to my profile and look at Pet Sport. Show us the flight on the moon. Ricky Tree, you got it, man. We're looking at it right now. See it? Oh, no, you don't see it. Okay. Neither do I. That's a portal. Amen. And make sure you guys follow, too. This is proof of an almighty creator, so majestic. Yes, it is. And then I think it's proof of the almighty creator that we can even look at it and think of it, think of what it is. Do you know what I mean? That we can even have a thought about him or the sky or anything. We're just trying to survive down here. Trying to make ends meet down here is hard enough. Trying to know everything up in the sky, you gotta be crazy. We don't know much about the sky. Like you say, oh, but the globe predicts eclipses. No, it doesn't. Necromancers and soothsayers, and that's who predicts eclipses, guys. Wizards and magicians, that's who predicts eclipses. So that's what they're doing. A lot of people still think it's a bunch of soup. Yeah, I know, it's sad. Jessica says, in the firmament. How can any deny the Lord these days? I don't know. But you know what? I think he's not done with all the stuff he's doing. So I think, well, I guess keep spreading the truth if you see it, right? The globe and the motion of the moon does predict eclipses. Yeah, Jerry, I agree. But I think that is it's like the kings, I forget what they're called, like in the Bible, like the magicians and the diviners, and I don't really know all the words, but those guys that they like the prophets of Baal and stuff, they predict stuff. They made all these crazy things, miracle things happen, but it wasn't of God. The moon offers us cold light. That is an amazing thing to do by yourself, or to do like on your own if you have one of those thermometers. Go out when the moon is full, and it's crazy when you start pointing that and taking the temperature reading of different things, and you can use your own common sense to determine why these things are, some things are cooling down in the sun. Like, think of a rock. So the rock is like in the sun all day long in this heat of the sun. So this rock is like pretty hot way down low, like way down inside of the rock it's hot. And then the sun goes down, and so the rock is like not getting heated anymore, and so it's going to start cooling down. But all of a sudden when you go out at night, like after a while, point the temperature gun at the rock, and the rock will be colder than like your house. You're like, what? Like if they're like, it'll be colder if it's in the moonlight than a rock would be that's in a shadow. Try it for yourself. You don't have to believe me. Try it for yourself. It's crazy. It's the opposite of what you believe. They say the sun reflects light off the moon, and that's why it's bright. I think that if you take one of those temperature guns and you point it at stuff, you'd probably disagree with the idea that the sun is the source of the moon's light, because it's not hot. It's not hot in any way. It's actually the opposite way. After Jesus left, he said, the kingdom is at hand. Yeah. And he said, my kingdom's not of this world. So, you guys, we're just here, just maintaining right now, Which, that's what it feels like anyway. Ooh, mosquitoes are coming out. Oh, yeah, I can zoom in a little more. That's full zoom right there. TikTok zoom. And then maybe I'll grab the remote and we'll travel around a little bit. I'm not going to mess with the focus. It's probably not focused perfectly, but if I start messing with it. You also... Oh, I missed that comment. Hold on. It says, you can also see the red in the moon in mine. Amen. The red. I missed that part. Or you mean like the rust, kind of rustish a little bit? If I turn the light down, it's easier to see that. Like the color. There is some brown on the moon, believe it or not. Oops. Sorry about all the shakiness. There, let me zoom out and you might be able to see it. You can kind of see maybe a little bit of brownish color. I don't know. Yeah, I see brownish color. And I see gray, or like, do you see that? Like those two spots in the middle are kind of like two different colors. Oh, you know what I'm missing right now? Dang it. Austin Whitsitt is going over his debate on the... Hey, you know what? I wonder if I could get it on my computer and play it. I'll be right back. I'm going to try to play... He's doing a review of a debate he did. I'll be right back because I'm gonna try to get it playing on my. I'll bring a laptop out here. I guess I can't. My laptop speaker is broken, so I forgot about that. Otherwise, I was going to play that while we were looking at the moon. So, you guys, tell me how long. Should I just leave it going? Because I could leave it going for like an hour. Or I could shut it down. I just got to take care of a couple things. So, I said what I wanted to say. Should I zoom out, in? What are we looking at? You guys like it at the bright like that? Like, hey, could you measure the diameter of the craters? You'd have to have something to, like, reference the measurement with, wouldn't you? And there's no way to measure. I mean, I guess if you were going to measure, you'd have to know the distance to it. You'd have to know some kind of measurement in order to get the measurement of it. You get what I'm saying? Zoom in. Okay, we'll zoom in. How's that? It's not a bad image right there. I like that. The size of the moon would be a reference. And the moon is... And what is the size of the moon? In your opinion, like what would be the size or what would be that reference? I mean, the size. Would it be like it's as big as my thumb, or you get what I'm saying? Like how big is it? Are you doing like angular size, like in arc minutes or something, or in like degrees, like a half a degree, right? I think the moon's like a half a degree. Jerry says, "Cool crater, right side center." Oh yeah, that is cool. Jerry says, so at the moon, oh shoot, sorry, hold on. I'm going back to that. If the moon is the source of its own light, why are there shadows in the craters? Blue shadows? When was the last time you seen blue shadows, bro? Let's look over at the right side. You see the blue? You can only see this during the daylight, obviously. But let's just look at the shadows in the craters towards the bottom here. Let me, I gotta get this in the right position so we can kind of see it better. Now I'm gonna zoom in. But look at the crater right there. Blue shadows. They're starting to look dark now. But I did point that out earlier that they were blue, but they are starting to look black now. But the shadows are actually the color of the sky. So I don't know. Everybody, you know what's interesting is that everybody's kind of thinking about some of these things lately, which I think is cool. If everybody's thinking about it, we can only learn more, right? Oh, 8 new messages. No, they're not. They're shadows. Okay, they're shadows, Jerry. You got it, man. You win that debate. You win that argument. Oh, yeah, I like that shot right there. That looks cool. You know what I'm going to do, too? Which I haven't gone live on TikTok for a while. I've just been real busy. But I'm going to upload this whole live onto my YouTube channel. which is the same name, effed up world. Effed up world. Neat. So globe, moon, reflected sun. All right, Jerry. Hey, man. Each to their own. I am in Minnesota. How can it be measured, Mike? I don't know if you were hearing me talk about parallax. Like stellar parallax, that's no way to measure anything. You're measuring an assumption. You're pretending that the parking lot at some observatory is 186 million miles from itself 6 months from the last time you were there, even though you went to the same observatory. Get it? The observatory never moved, bud. Stellar parallax is a joke. It's a joke. If the Earth was orbiting the sun, and if the sun was 93 million miles away from the Earth, then stellar parallax would be a legitimate way to measure something. But unfortunately, that's something you're assuming, that the Earth's orbiting the sun, because it's actually the sun circling above the Earth, if you pay attention. That's what happens. That's reality. Nobody's ever seen the Earth go around the sun. We've seen planets go around the sun, but not the Earth. The Earth is not in the sky. The Earth is where we live, beneath us, where we build the foundations of our houses. The bedrock under New York, that's solid, stationary, still, stable, still, at rest. Where's the rust forming? I don't know. Maybe like a little above the center there. Maybe that's rusty. Is that the moon turning red? Why huskies rock. Correct. Jerry says, yep. Owen says, I remember an old girlfriend of mine thought the moon was the sun at nighttime. Hey, it's kind of like the night sun time, or nighttime sun, sort of. Well, you're not on the north of the sun. You're standing like on the side of the Earth. So really, no, I'm not. I'm on the top of the Earth, man. You might be on the side, but I'm on the top. It's flat up here. Like, we only experience the flat Earth. We don't experience the globe. We don't... Hey, truth be told, I'm a big fan. Follow your stuff. The moon being locked to us, but we aren't locked to the sun proves it's all locked. Yeah, it's all ridiculous. You know what? The only reason why it's even a little bit credible is because they started teaching us immediately when we were born. Otherwise, it would just be a whole big joke. Because to many of us now, it's become a big joke. The globe is like, and you know what? It's kind of weird, but if you try to tell your family or your friends about that Earth's not a globe, they'll become like toddlers, and they will start crying and kicking their feet when you try to take away their ball. Sorry. Can't wait to get to 1K so I can do this. Oh, man, Astro Playground, you guys. Go follow Astro Playground. Because I when I was on TikTok, when I first started on TikTok, I was like, I didn't even know I could do lives. And then when I got to 1,000, I was like, yeah. And then you can go live. Like, I could just leave this going, I think. So, Astro Playground, you guys go follow him. Or I wish I could, like, make a link or something. You can find the distance by measuring the corpuscular rays with trigonometry. That might be. That actually might be. I've never thought about that before. Like, if you take how do you measure that, though, really? I mean, because that's an apparent thing, right? Because you're saying that because those rays are not perfectly parallel, you could take that triangulation or whatever. Is that what you're saying? I think something like that. Which crater is the deepest? Good question. Why don't you ask them astronauts? I'm sure they know. They've been there. As the story goes. You know what's funny? I'll bet you half the people in this whole world know that the moon landing was bunk. I bet you half the people in the world. I'll bet you 1 out of 2 people that are alive today laugh at the idea of walking on the moon. And I'll bet you 15 years ago, it was like 1 out of 10 thought that it was fake. Or 1 out of 20 thought it was fake. Suddenly now, with all our nice camera and optics that we have in this modern society we live in, we've learned a lot about things that have happened in the past. And why they've happened and what they've done. And we've gotten a little bit smart to some of that stuff that's happened. I just ran the math. The one on the bottom seems to be 83, 84 kilometers. Nice. Well, you know, I think, let's see. Yeah, there's one, I think it's called Tychus. And let's zoom in on, I might be wrong, but I'm just going kind of off the top of my head. But I'm going to put it on the center of the screen here. And see if I can zoom in on Tycho, not Tychus, Tycho. And it's, I think they say it's something like 50 or 80 miles or something. That one right, or let's see, it's pretty much in the center, but it's like the most standing out one with the little dot in the middle. I think that's Tycho. I think, but I could be wrong. CL9, I'm not a flat earther, and I still believe it's fake. Nice. Has anyone ever thought that the... Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying the moon landing's fake, but you're not a flat believer or whatever. Hey, man, you're halfway there. I'm just kidding. 52 miles. Thanks, Mike. I remember reading that, or seeing that anyway. Did you guys get what I was saying when I was like, does Elon Musk, like when they're flying in their rockets, do they go... swing by Jesus's pad and have lunch or what? They knock on his door, leave him a letter in the mail, in his mailbox. What do they do? What are they doing? What are they doing up there? I know that Stephen, when he was being stoned, he said he looked up at, and when he was being stoned, he saw Jesus sitting at the right hand of the Father in their throne. He saw them up there, like in the clouds or whatever, in the heavens. AP rig going for the... All right, cool, Astro Playground. I'm glad you stopped by. I'll have to check out your channel for sure. I'll go follow you. Most flat earthers are... It's where they get the idea. Probably true. A-Town, not a flat earther either, but there is a firmament, and we are just TV channels for heaven. Hey, I like that. I like that. We're just like yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually. Like there's angels watching, flipping channels, making sure everybody's doing the right thing or trying to. Like HBO, bro. Ooh, I'm getting bit up now. Oh, Bill Clinton's here. Make sure you guys follow. I gotta go find some bug spray if I can or something. I'll be back. Okay, I have a confession to make. This bug spray that I'm spraying myself with right now, I just found it on the garage floor. And it's been sitting there on the garage floor since the last time I used it, which was last year, I'm sure. This is the first time I'm using it this year, so it tells you a little bit about my garage. That's where that goes. I think if you drove 230,000 miles, you'd be way past the moon, man. Way farther than the moon. That's what I think. Because the moon, only, like when it was that eclipse, you know, just recently, the shadow is like 115 miles in diameter. That's a tangible shadow on the ground. Like that's something we can measure. That was like 115 miles, so hard to make a 2,160 whatever mile diameter object rock. Uh-oh, live will end in 1 minute. What's going on with that? Drag puzzle piece into place. Whoa, I dragged it. Oh, let me drag it right. What's it doing? It's making me do a... Oh, it made me verify. That's weird. I never did that before. Good thing I was here. Otherwise, it probably would have shut down. Man, why do they do that? Probably so people don't just leave a live going all the time. If the moon gives off light, where does the moon's shadow come from? Well, it's covering up the sun. If you're talking about during an eclipse. So the shadow is just the part that's covering up the sun, or going in front of the sun. You know what I mean? Imagine that one day when you see the moon heading towards Earth. Oh, that'd be scary. What about the planets? What if we seen the planets? Because in the Bible, there's a great star falls to heaven, and yeah, it's kind of scary. So yeah, if you guys are on YouTube at all, try to go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Same name, Effed Up World. EFTUPWORLD. And because I'll be uploading this on there just for fun, and then Caleb FE, yeah, Caleb's awesome. I follow him. He's always doing lives on here. I love going to his lives. He's hilarious. And it's great. Eye openers, my friend. Flatman Dan, nice to see you. Earth is flat, my friend. I look up. Yeah, Caleb, yep. Love the moon stream also. Awesome. Okay, guys, I got to move around a little because these mosquitoes just found me or something. So I'll probably end my commentary right here, but I'll leave it going for a while. I'll just leave it going. Why not? Till it makes them verify it and then it shuts down on me. Whoops. I don't know what I'm doing. I shouldn't have messed with it. Because there's a remote and I'm always too lazy to pick it up. And make sure to follow. All right, guys. I'll be back. Still tracking. Nice. It's finally cooling off a little bit. Zoom in a little bit for fun, huh? They're zoomed all the way out. Whoops, too dark. I'm terrible at that exposure. Oh, my setup, Mike, it's we're looking with the iPhone 13 through my Meade ETX 125. It's a nice little telescope. You can literally see its curvature, and flat earthers will call it fake. No, I don't think it's fake. I'm a flat earther. I don't think it's fake. I think it's I think it's like more like a disc, because of the way that it rises and goes over us and sets. We only see one side of it, man. If it was a sphere, you'd think we'd be able to see the other side, maybe. A projection from the void, I like that. But I wonder how you are doing this. What do you mean, how I'm doing it? I'm just got my phone hooked up to the telescope, and we're just looking. We're just looking. Then explain how in the north the image is inverse to those in the southern hemisphere. Okay, so that's a good thing to think about. Okay, so if the Earth, if the moon was a disc, and we were seeing, like, say, the bottom side of it, you know, like the way that a hockey puck moves on the ice. If we were to see the bottom side of the hockey puck, right? If you're in the southern hemisphere, you look up at the moon, right? And you see it the way you see it, but someone in the northern hemisphere is actually, like, looking at you and looking up at the moon, so they're seeing it from the other side. And here's the way that I've learned to understand it myself. If we were in a big, huge room with a big ceiling, and in the center of the room there was a number 5, or, well, that's probably not the best way to do it. There'd be a number 6 on the ceiling. If from one side of the room you'd see a 6, but if you go on the other side of the room, you'd look up and you'd see a 9. So that you'd see the upside down image of what's in the center of the ceiling. Does that make sense? Adam Skipper, so you're saying the moon produces its own light? Faux show. That's what the Bible says. Her light. That's still 3D, so what's the point? A coin has edges and a backside. If it's a sphere, it's still true. That is true. A coin does have edges. But we've only seen one side, so we haven't even seen the edge. We've only seen the one side. No to the 6 and 9 argument does not work. Well, it actually does. Try it. Go in your basement. Put something on the ceiling in the middle, like tack it up there or whatever, tape it up there, and go stand and look on opposite sides of the room, you will see the image inverted upside down from either side of the room. That's what you'll see. Wow, flat earth, is this economy? What does that mean? You know what? There's a lot more flat earthers than people think there are. Way more. Like, what's that guy's name that's dating Taylor Swift, that quarterback, Kelsey or Travis Kelsey or something? Him and his brother were saying that they think probably 15% of the NFL are flat earthers. Yeah. It's not dumb. The globe is dumb. That's why there's flat earthers. Not sure what scripture was. The Bible definitely says it's a light. Yeah. Right away at the beginning, Genesis 1:14. God created two great lights. The greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. It's a light, guys. Adam Skipper, that's Genesis 1:14. Earth isn't flat, we have mountains, duh. Yeah, okay, I agree. When I say Earth is flat, I mean it's not a globe. Rich, yep, the globe is dumb. I agree. You can't pull facts for Genesis. Well, I can because I believe Genesis. So for me, that's a fact. For me, the moon's a light. I can't tell you what to think of it. I can't tell you to believe the Bible. I believe it. That's for me. I think that's one of the most fun things about life is that we all have a different point of view. Think how boring it would be if me and you agreed on everything. That's like saying Santa Claus is real because I believe in it. Yeah, that is. If you believe in Santa Claus, sure. But see, we're looking at the moon and we're looking at it. It is a light. So it's not like believing in Santa. It's like believing actually what we experience, what we see. The earth doesn't move. We don't experience the earth moving. The Bible says it's not moving. It's like pretty clear in there. The world shall be stable and not be moved. I believe the Bible. All right, Crystal, living life on WW. Nice. Y'all believe whatever you want to believe. Yeah, Mike, I agree. I think that really does make life interesting. That otherwise we wouldn't even have conversations. Like if I had my way, I'd have all you people believe the Bible. But if someone else in the chat had their way, they'd be like, the Bible's a fairy tale written by men. So, I think that's one of the parts of life is to have different opinions and to learn and learn, really. That's not healthy to avoid facts. Well, that's true. Kind of like it would be unhealthy to say that the earth is rotating. Because, in fact, it's not. See my telescope? Watch this. I'm just going to touch my telescope with my foot. Just touch the leg of it with my foot. Okay? Now watch this. I'm going to stomp on the ground. Okay? So the ground right now is still, but watch when I stomp on the ground. Do you see that? Okay? That's the ground moving when I stomp on it. But other than me stomping on it, the ground is not moving. Here's your evidence. The telescope is sitting on the ground. Okay? The telescope is moving. That's what you hear the motor. The telescope's moving to follow the moon because the moon is moving. The earth isn't moving. The earth is the only part that's not moving. The only thing that's not moving is the earth. Everything else is moving. The Big Bang is a great story made by men. It's a great fish story made by men. You can't see the backside of the moon because it doesn't have one. I agree, Rich. The moon is a luminary. It's a light. And I'm just going to say this because Mike says I'm just going to zip. That's okay, Mike. I think you should run your opinion around, man. Ain't nothing better than when someone expresses their beliefs or their opinions. Nothing wrong with that, man. Even if people laugh or disagree or call you a stupid flirter or whatever, I don't care. That stuff runs off of my back like water over a bridge or over a waterfall. The moon is a light. Gyatmfhrnbibya. That is a name. The moon is a light. To me, it's a light. I believe it's a light. The Bible says it's a light. When you finally find out the earth is flat, it's like being liberated. It's so, yeah, you know what? The Bible even talks about, oh man, I got to think of it. Give me a second. Because there's a part in Isaiah where it's talking about, it says, it's Isaiah 42. I think it's verse 6 and 7 or something. It says, I, the Lord, have called you in righteousness and will hold your hand and keep you. Oh, I got a sticker on my head. Or on my, I'm wearing a hoodie now. And give you as a covenant to the people, for a light to the Gentiles, to open the blind eyes and to remove prisoners out of the prison, out of the darkness. I think that that's talking about his marvelous light, like not the sun or moon. I'm saying Jesus. Oh, Adam Skipper had a great question. Dang it. Okay, let me look back. Hold on. If the moon produces its own light, how does it go through phases? Well, just how we see it go through phases. I mean, every 7 days, there's another quarter. Like, it's always been that way. I mean, the moon's just moving across. The light is just moving across the moon in 28 days or whatever. Or it's like it's filling up and emptying out throughout the 28 days. Each day it's a little bit more, and then full moon, and then it goes back to new moon. And new moon is like no moon, which is interesting. Uh-oh, I'm losing the messages. The moon is reflecting sunlight. I disagree. But that's a valid way to think of it. I mean, I couldn't argue with that. But you can't cast light on something that produces its own light. Wait a minute. I'm trying to think of what... If it's producing its own light, you couldn't cast light off of it? Or I don't know what you mean. The reason why I don't think it's the sunlight is because it's cold. It makes things cold. The moon makes things cold. So I don't think it's the sun. That would make things warmer. I don't know. That's my thoughts. You guys, the messages are real fast. Sorry if I'm not... Round Earthers took our jobs! They took our jobs! I don't know. Kind of funny. The comment. I love TikTok. Oop. I think I have almost 20,000 followers on TikTok now. I think. And one of my videos has 1 million views. Or 1.1 million views or something. And some of them almost have 1 million views. Whoop. I don't think that's hard to do on TikTok, though. I think TikTok is, like, really... Some video... it's not every video, but some videos... Like, I made a video just as a joke. There's this guy on here named Globy McGlobeface or something. And he took a video from the SpaceX, that last Starship test they did. And he was like, a video of the it's David Weiss? Wait a minute. David Weiss? I just got a... Weiss? Wait a minute. David Weiss? I just got a... Awesome. I met him in 2018 and gave him a hug. If the moon gave its own light, we could not see it. Well, we're seeing it, so I don't know. Who do you think changes the moon's battery? Maybe the sun. Maybe the sun charges it, and that, like, maybe it's some kind of electricity thing. Maybe it charges it, and that's why we get the phases. Maybe it, like, fills it up and empties it out or something. Maybe it glows in the dark like a scratch and sniff glow in the dark sticker. Oh, okay, Ray 911, he settled the debate, you guys. There's the reason the moon reflects the sun because it's made of cheese. Oh, should have known. Reason, the moon reflects the sun because it's made of cheese. Oh, should have known. Put a flashlight on your eyes. Can you see the flashlight? Yeah, I hope so. All right. Oh, man, this button keeps coming up with new messages. Hey, guys, thanks for all hanging out, for sure. Thank you. I think I have to take my bike and go over to the shop. I have a few things that I didn't finish taking care of and got to do it quick. You keep saying, I think. Do better with your logic. Think outside your Bible box. I'll try. Thank you. I think I'll try. I think I'll try. Just kidding. Yeah, make sure you guys follow. Can you explain the phases of the moon? Well, we observe them. That's about all I know about it. We observe them on par, on routine, on schedule, like clockwork, because the sky is a clock. The moon is we could have a year could be 13 months of 4 weeks. It could be 28 days times 13 months, and it would be a year. That would work if we use the moon for that. But I'm not saying we should. I'm just saying that would work. So once again, if it produces its own light, you cannot cast a shadow onto it. I don't think those are shadows. I think it's just like the sky that we're seeing in those spots. Like if the moon wasn't bright enough there. I don't know. It's a mystery. It's mysterious. Definitely. Ooh, there's a little bit of a haze going in front even. There's no clouds, but... Oh, maybe that's something in my eye. What do you think a solar eclipse is? Yeah, they're jamming. I think the solar eclipse is the moon going in front of the sun. I think it's the moon. I mean, that's what I think. A lot of people say it's like something else, but I think it's pretty clearly the moon myself. Hard to say, I guess, but... How can a solar eclipse happen if the moon produces light? Because it's going in front of the sun. It's something going in front of the sun. It's a heavenly body. Even if it's producing light, it's going in front of the sun. So it's blocking the sun from getting to your eyes if you're in totality. Yeah, but that makes a shadow. Shadow on the ground, not on the moon. Then it wouldn't get dark. Well, it does get dark. The moon and sun are inside the ether. Yeah, they are. Inside the firmament. John, FFS. Explain how two lights make a shadow. If you have one light that's a disk, and you have another light that's a disk, and you put the one light in front of the other light, you won't be able to see the one behind the first disk. That's how I look at it. So, yeah, the Esoteric King followed. Nice. Follow. All right, guys, 9:30 p.m. here in Minnesota. And appreciate all of you. Make sure to follow and make sure to like or whatever. And I'm going to put this on my YouTube channel just because that's always fun. And I'll have to wait for it to, process and all that stuff. So it'll probably be tomorrow. But Ooga Booga, you're silly. I think you understood what I was saying. Why is the moon gray? Good question. Shout out from Colorado where I can see the sun and moon at the same time in the mornings. Nice. So how can there be a shadow if both celestial bodies produce light? Because one is blocking the other one's light, right? Okay. Take, let me just think of this. I got to just think of the right thing. Okay. Take a, what's a commonly used light? Let's see. Okay, take your car with the headlights on, right? And my car with the headlights on, and we're both pointing north, right next to each other, right? So the person standing way over there, they see 4 headlights, because we each have 2 headlights on our car. They see 4 headlights. But if I pass you up and get in front of you, they can no longer see your headlights, right? That's the concept that I'm thinking of. So hopefully that makes some kind of sense. It should by now. I've said it a few times. So if you put a flashlight in front of a flashlight, you don't get a shadow. Yeah, you do. You get a flashlight shadow. You gotta be kidding me. Oh boy. All right, guys. Much love. I love you no matter what you believe. I think it's good if we can at least have a conversation about it. So thank you guys for all being chill in the chat and hanging out. And what was the... Oh, no. Did I already forget? Was it Astro Backyard? No, what was it? I'm going to have to go back and look. There was someone I wanted to follow. He needed more followers to get to 1,000 so he could live stream. So anyway, much love. Thank you. Go to my YouTube if you are interested. I make a ton of videos over there. I have like 4,000 videos on my channel over there. So check it out if you want. And follow, and much love.